Okay, so I guess, okay, so it was like basically, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Kind of a rehashing.
Yeah, and I wasn't, I kept doing the steps that I thought were right, and then the answers weren't matching. So I didn't know if you got those right or somebody got them right and they could help me work through them, figure out where I don't know.
I was kind of running into that as well. Like it wasn't quite matching up exactly with what the answer key said.
Yeah.
So, what numbers specifically?
Well, like number 6, we can just go to that one for instance. On part 2. So to find, let's see, a sample is given, or a sample of size n equals 4. What is the probability that the observed x is less than 40? So, yeah, I guess I didn't know. Are we supposed to figure out like z-score in the old way or z-score in this new way with the...
I believe it's the new way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's the new way.
And then I still didn't get the answer right. I don't know if my calculator is weird or what.
So, let's see.
What did you do? Did you put like 40 minus 45?
Yeah. So, and that's what, so then, let's see. Yeah, 40 minus 45, right?
Mm-hmm. On 10?
On number 6. Is that right?
What do you mean? Yes, number 6 on the standard deviation, which is 10. Mike, vin ouve pou moun sa, Mike. Gon moun kap frappe nan pot la. Ouve pou li. Sorry, guys. I was talking to Creole to someone.
So,
yeah.
So what formula did you do then?
That value minus mean, like the x, right, minus the mean over that standard deviation where you figure out the O divided by square root of n, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is that what you're supposed to do? Maybe my calculations are weird.
No, I think you have to finish the first part, which means 40 minus 45 over 10, and then you have the calculation, and then divided by squared.
Oh, so okay, so
you just divide it by 10 and then divide it by the square root again?
Yeah. This is what I did.
Okay, let's see. Oh, can you guys hear that clicking? That's annoying.
I'm still not getting 0.15 if I do it that way, though.
Well, and then whatever you get, that's your z-score. You're supposed to put in the that
applet.
Chart. Yeah, the applet thing, right? Yeah, and then.
Okay, let me open the applet real quick.
Oh my gosh, I have so many browsers open.
I know, I always do when I'm doing stuff on this. Okay, so
okay. Then you divided that by 10. And then you divided it by the square root. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, so the square root of n, which is 4. Is that what it is in there? Yeah.
That's still not giving me. Did you get, what was your z-score then for that? What did you get out of that equation?
What? It was minus 0.
So,
Hello?
Let's see. I'm trying
well,
to find
so what
the-
did you get if you, so you did 40 minus 45 over 10 and then took that to the, did you take it to the square root of 4 or divide it by the square root of
divided
4?
it by the square root of 4. So that actually matches, well, let's see, does it match? It's still not quite, it said the exact would be, oh, hang on, let me look again. So then we're looking.
So what did you get as your answer for that equation? That,
Oh, 0.25? That's what I got when I did it that way. It's
so why
pretty
am,
negative 0.25.
I'm getting like whole numbers. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. You did 40 minus 45 divided by 10.
Yeah.
Which was 35.5.
No, it should just be negative 0.5. 40 minus 45. That's negative 5 divided by 10.
So, yeah. So, okay. So negative 0, my order of operations is what was screwing me over. Okay. So negative 0.5, you divided that by the square root of 4?
Correct.
So what did you get on that then? 0.25?
Yeah, negative 0.25.
And then what did we do with that number? Put that as the z-score?
Yeah, that's the z-score. And then it says, what's the probability that the observation is less than 40? So putting it in the applet, but that doesn't match the answers on number 7.
Yeah, not at all.
Or on number 6 in lesson 7.
So what are we doing wrong?
So I guess I thought you just, like, you figured out that bottom one, like that z-score. And then, does that make sense? Like you do each of those equations and then you divide them.
I don't get it.
So like you would do the.
So how do we
40.
get 0.15? How are we still so off?
So I guess, so did you get those answers before, Angela? Like when you went through them, did you get them?
Not on this one. That's what I was kind of.
So, okay, so X.
They really
So the X is 40, right? That's what I was wondering. I'm like, am I using the right numbers? Like, I don't even know if I'm using the right numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see here. So I don't think we're doing it right because I don't think we're. Yeah, we're not doing the right equation.
Why?
We're not doing the right equation because the equation we're using is when you are working with a sample mean. We don't have a sample mean for this problem. We're just working with a normal mean. So we're not doing the right equation.
So that's what, so are we just finding the regular z-score?
Yep.
That's what I was like confused about.
So it should then just be 10 divided by square root of 4, right?
Or, yeah, that would be the regular one. Divided by the square root of 4.
Which is 5.
Which wouldn't. Maybe we should have asked the TA to come to our meeting today.
No, I don't know what's happening.
What do you 5? It gives me 5.
Yeah, me too, but that can't be right either.
No.
Can it? I mean, because we're supposed to be putting that in the applet.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
I guess what I'm confused is like, I feel like none of these questions didn't match like what was gone over in the reading, and I watched one of the videos too.
Yeah, that didn't help me either.
And so I'm like, these questions don't even, I don't know, they're like not matched. So I'm like confused of how to figure them out.
Okay.
And then like on the answer key, it says, you know, according to the answer key, it says using the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. And so I'm like, okay, I don't even know. Like, I didn't even know that.
So maybe, so we're probably just not supposed to be doing what we're doing anyway, right? If they're using the rule that's different than the equations we're trying, isn't it?
Right. Well, that's what I was, and then, well, we have to find a percentage somehow, you know, so, but I don't know how, I don't remember using that tool except for knowing that it's a tool. Did we use it somehow? Maybe we did. I don't know. In a previous lesson. So, yeah. And then like number 7, is that asking us the same thing? Which in the reading, I remember seeing they did do something. I think it was the reading where
Yeah,
they talked
did
about in
something
between. Like,
yeah, but theirs was with, theirs is talking, when they do that, they're talking about using a sample mean, right? But
yes.
I'm not seeing a sample mean in these questions. So that's what I think is throwing us off. So we have a mean of 45. So we're not working with a sample mean, right?
Right, because that's just the average that they sold per minute. I don't know. Are they talking about the sample of the whole year?
Yeah, I'm looking at the reading, so hold on just a second.
Okay.
So calculatrice m'a tombé là. Téléphone n'a pas peut-être pas là.
Yeah, I think that's what's throwing us off because okay, hold on. So Okay, so in our question, what is the probability that the observed x is less than 40? And our x, I don't even know what our x is. Our x is that the 4? N equals 4? Is that what the x is?
Well, that's what
think
I was
we-
confused
I
about.
think
What
we
x?
made it right. I think we did it right, guys.
Well, we're not getting the answer key, so I don't know that.
Let me. What the answer key says 1 something. Let me see.
0.15. We have not gotten 0.15.
Okay, so we have to go to the applet and click on the left side, on the right side of the applet, and leave the left side blue.
Yeah.
And then, given we find 1 minus 1, I mean, sorry, this is the probability. Because if you have, let me try it again.
What are you putting as your z-score?
I put -1 in my z-score.
Which is
Your z-score? I'm not really understanding.
okay. Using that, okay, using the 68, 95, 99.7 rule would be.
So that's why he's doing -1?
-1, and that is 0.1587. And then -2 would probably be the next one. Yep.
Okay.
Or wait,
so
no,
there
it's
isn't
not.
an equation to figure this out. Like, you have to use the 68 rule.
Well, but if you put -2 in there.
Maybe it is awkward what I did. What I did is that I divide 10 by 4 squared 4, and then I divide the result by 40 minus 45, and it gives me -5 over 5 and -1.
Okay, will you say that again?
Yeah.
Just slowly, so I can understand what you did. So you did 10 divided by the square root of 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then what? And that gave you 5, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I keep the 45 minus 40 minus 45, and it gives me -5, and I divide it by the result I found before.
Right, so top is -5, bottom is 5. That would give you the -1. Okay,
And that would be right.
So I think I was, yeah, my order of operations, I think, was wrong. So I am understanding more now.
So then for the next question, number 7, you do that same thing, but with 35. Is that what you did?
No, this is what I'm gonna try.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, 7.
I think what I was doing wrong is I did 10 to the square root of 4 rather than 10 divided by square root of 4.
That's what I was doing too.
Yeah, so I think that's what was messing me up.
So
for Maxie.
Let's see if I can get this next question right, though. Then.
Yeah. So we have to do 2 equations, right? One for the 35 and one for the 55.
Yeah. Well, I think if we do the 1, we can just highlight the 2 outer sections.
Oh yes.
I believe. So this one, it would be 10, right? Again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Okay.
So then this one, sorry, I'm just trying to like get this in my brain. So then you do that same thing, 10 divided by the square root of 4, right? Like what we did.
Yep, so
Four.
this will be the 95% rule. So you should be getting 2 for your z-score. Or
Okay, so this
2 or
is
-2, whichever.
what number 35 minus 45? Is that what it is? Okay. That makes sense, I think. I mean, it does. So then, yeah, 2, and then
yeah, because that'll
you
give you
just highlight the
over
2
5,
outsides,
just -2.
right? It's or is it highlighting the middle?
The middle.
The middle.
It's the middle.
Okay. And then that gives us,
because it's greater or less than, so.
okay, yes.
And that gives you your 95%, the right answer.
Yep. Okay. I see that now.
And it's essentially the same thing in
right, for number
8.
7, or yeah, number 8.
Uh-huh.
And then number 9.
So, did you find 95, 0.9545?
Yes.
Okay.
And then number 8 is the same thing, but n is 25, right? I mean, the same process.
It's the same process, yeah.
Except n is 25. Okay, I'm gonna have to go really do these. And then same with number 9, same process, right?
I think 9's different.
It talks about sample size.
Yeah.
It's worded the same. Oh, that the observed x?
X is graded. I think to me, it's the same.
So what's your x then in that one, in number 9?
My x would be 50.
Okay, because you're doing greater than.
Yeah.
Okay.
X minus 35 over 10 over squared 25. Square root of 25.
This one's different though. It's not one of the percent from the rules.
Okay, so
I think this is the exact same thing we have in number 6, except it is greater and number 6 was less.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. Ugh.
Yeah. This is how I understand it. I don't know.
Okay, I'm just seeing if I got the right answer. So what did you get for the z-score on that?
Côté téléphone na chérie. Téléphone Polari. Pas qu'à faire calcul. Yeah, fait by Excel.
Okay. Well, do you guys want to just try the quiz and go through it? And
So did you get 9 right though? Did you figure it out?
no, I don't think so. Did you get it?
So Maxie, did you get number 9 right on the individual prep?
Let me see. What did you do? Because me, I did 50 minus 45, 10 over square root of 25.
So 0.1.
But does that get you to your 0.00621? Because I
No, I know.
I'm
That's what I don't.
getting there.
I'm not getting it either.
Yeah.
So.
That's why I think this one might be
different.
Yeah. I guess we could just try the quiz and then we can let's work together some more after the broadcast. We can try and figure that one out. The rest.
Okay, so
did you find 0.1?
Yeah, but when you put it in the app, it's not. You don't find the well, and that's probability. Yeah. I think I'm just having a hard time with the wording, and I'm not exactly sure what exactly we're supposed to find when.
Yeah, I think that's
probably my biggest issue right now. So I'm great at that, telling if it's normally distributed or not. Okay, well, do you guys just want to try to go through the quiz then? And then see if that maybe, I don't know, clears something up?
Yeah.
Or we could figure it out. I don't know.
I mean,
okay.
I'm in it. The right answers for it.
Oh my gosh, it is so windy outside.
Okay.
Does everyone have it open? I can read the first one.
Okay, I have it open.
I have mine open.
Okay, so number 3, use the normal probability applet to find the combined area under the standard normal curve that is to the right of z equals 1.358 and to the left of z equals negative 1.358.
Okay. The combined area. Is that what it's wanting?
Yep, so the far two sides, so that's 0.1745.
Wait, what?
So if you go to the applet,
right,
and you put negative 1.358 for your z-score, and then that 1.358 on the positive side z-score.
Right, yeah.
So you're going to shade the far two sides. So leave the middle unshaded.
Oh, to the right and to the left.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that combined together is the area of 0.1745, which rounded is 0.175.
Combined area under the standard. So under the standard normal curve means the outside stuff?
It's to
it says to the right and to the left. Okay.
Yeah, this is the standard curve.
Got it.
And the two outer sides are shaded, so it's the area of those two shaded pieces.
I got it now.
That's the 0.1745.
I should say I understand. Okay, 0.1745.
Rounded up to 0.175. Yeah, Maxie, what's up?
Okay, what you just say? Can you please explain?
So
the z-score is
Do you have the normal probability applet open?
Yeah, I have it open.
So for the z-score, you're going to put in 1.358.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to shade the two outside sections. So leave the middle unshaded.
Yeah, this is what I have.
So if you have the two outside pieces shaded, your area should say 0.1745, which for the answer for the quiz, we round up to 0.175.
Okay, wait.
Does that make sense?
358. I think I got it totally wrong. Okay, so I will keep the middle unshaded.
Right.
Meaning it will be white and the right side and the left side, they will be blue.
Yes.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then I will put 1.358. Okay, so you found 0.1745.
Yes. And then we round it up to 0.175.
Okay.
For the
Thank
answer.
you. Good. Okay. We can move on. Everybody got it?
Yeah. Okay, which of the following will have a smaller standard deviation if 9 observations are randomly drawn from a population? The distribution of the individual observations, X, whatever. The distribution of the sample means this cannot be determined.
Sorry?
Okay.
It's the sample means because you're taking 9 from a population, right? So then that would mean it's the sample means is what you're going to be looking at, the distribution of the sample means.
Okay. Wait, explain that again. Sorry, this is a hard lesson for me. I'm not understanding very well.
So we're talking about which would have a smaller standard deviation if 9 observations are randomly drawn from a population.
Mm-hmm.
So the distribution of the sample means is going to be a smaller standard deviation than the bigger group, which would have been the individual observations. Does that make sense?
Kind of. I mean, I know what it all means. I just... Like, why is the distribution smaller than the individual? I mean, you know, I should say the sample means, you know, instead of the individual observations.
Because of the way you find the standard deviation is different. So it's going to be smaller. You're going to have a smaller standard deviation when you're looking at a sample mean than the mean for the entire observation.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So the distribution of the individual's observations is actually...
It would have a bigger standard.
The whole group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Which of the following results implies that the spread of X decreases as the sample size increases?
The law of large numbers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, score.
So that kind of builds off the last question, right? Because it's that sample mean X that means the spread is smaller or the deviation is smaller. So it kind of builds off each other, but it's the law of large numbers
Okay.
is what explains that.
Okay.
I don't know if my babbling makes sense, but there you go.
Well, I don't know. I thought I really got it last lesson, like the law of large numbers and the central limit theorem. And then like I missed that question on the quiz, the homework quiz. And so now I feel like confused about everything. So, anyway, okay, we can just move on. I think I get it though, and I'll look at it more, whatever.
So number 6 then, use this information to answer the next 4 questions. Scores on the quantitative portion of the GRE are approximately normally distributed with a mean of 150.8 and a standard deviation of 8.8. Diane earned a score of 160 on the quantitative portion of the GRE. What is the z-score corresponding to Diane's score? So
Okay.
we need to do 160 minus 150.8 divided by 8.8.
So that's just the other, like we're just finding the z-score on that one.
The normal z-score is what we're doing.
Okay. So just what's the z-score? That's it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Straightforward answer questions.
Yes,
that's
straightforward, just the z-score.
Okay. So the z-score then 1.045, is that what you got?
Yep.
1.045.
Yep.
Okay.
So 7 then is, what is the probability that a randomly selected student will score above 160 on the quantitative portion of the GRE?
Okay. So this is the stuff
so
that
we
were just talking about,
So we
it?
can use, we can use the applet for this.
Okay.
So we're using the z-score from the last number, right?
Oh. So you just use the
plug that into your applet.
So
and then since it's greater than, you shade only the right portion, the far right portion.
Okay.
And that should give you.
So that would be
your
0.148.
Yes.
That
makes sense to you, Maxie?
Thank you.
So I have a question.
Okay.
How do we know, like, I guess I'm not quite sure of the wording. Like, how do we know we're just obviously just asked for the z-score in the one before. Like for this one, why aren't we doing the more complicated? Because we're not working with probabilities yet? Or well, it says probability. So I guess the wording is confusing.
The more complicated ones are if you're dealing with sample means.
Okay.
Right now, we're not dealing with sample means.
Okay. I just think I think that's what it is for me right now. Like I'm trying to figure out the different wording. Okay, so when it's not talking about sample means, you just do the old stuff like the
because in the reading, when it gives us the normal things that we've been doing, it's review of sampling distributions. When we get into the more complicated section, it's probabilities involving a mean or a sample mean, mostly sample means, right?
Okay.
That's what the questions are.
Okay. That will help me.
So so the more complicated ones are when you're asking questions about a mean, right? So it's always going to involve a mean, whereas right now we're just doing probability of distributions, normal distributions.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
What did you find for number 7?
So we got 0.148.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then.
So question 8, a random sample of 5 students was selected to take the GRE. Their scores are 160, 175, 163, 149, and 153. What is the z-score corresponding to the sample mean of these students' scores?
So do we have to find the mean first?
Yes. I believe so. So
160?
Plus égale 800 divisé par 5, 160.
Okay. So did you guys get 160 as the mean? So is X the 5 students in this case?
I think so. That is what would make sense to me.
And then the deviation.
So we would have
Do we have to put it in that little thing to find the deviation? Or
we don't. Okay. We don't have a sample mean, is where I'm running into an issue here. Because to find the z-score, we need that, right? We need the sample mean to do, unless, oh, okay. Hold
did
on.
we just get the sample mean? Like, is that?
So, one or 5 root. Sorry, I'm thinking. Hold on.
I am a bit confused. It could be the same thing as number 6. I don't know.
Use the following information for the next 4 questions. So,
okay, so I think we'd have.
So we use the same.
Hold on. Trying something real quick.
We're not actually using the same. I mean, by chance, we have the same result as what we had in number 6. And then we go this way.
Well, yeah, because Diane earned a score of 160, and 160 was the average I got from all of those. So wouldn't that be the same answer?
You think it's 0.148 again? Because it's not.
1.045? No, like the number 6.
Yeah, this is number 6.
So, because number 6, she had a score of 160, and then we use that information above to find the z-score, right? And then number 8, we took the average of these, and it was 160 was the average. And then finding the z-score, wouldn't it be the same? Because we're still using the information.
Yeah, because this is my premise is that this is anyway the score of one student. So it could be still the X that we're.
So Well, do you like 1.045?
I'm
Is
sorry.
that what you got, or Angela?
Well, no, but hold on. Let me look at this real quick. I think we're missing a piece of information.
What information? What piece? Because we're just finding the z-score, right? So it's just the x minus the mean divided by the standard deviation.
Hold on. I don't think it's that.
It's too easy to be true. I don't know.
So does the 5 play a role then?
Okay.
Like the sample of 5 students?
Yeah.
So the 5 does have a role in it because it's not the same. It's not the same z-score. They're not the same. I'm just trying to remember how it's worked in, but it's not the same. It's different. It's higher than that. A normally distributed mean of 150. So why can I not figure out?
Well, because
the sample mean. This is the so. I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out is the 5, because the 5 does play an important role in this equation.
Well, isn't it to find the mean?
Hold on, I think I almost have it. Let me work this out one really quick, and then I'll tell you if I have it right now or not. So okay. I have it. Okay, so here's how this needs to happen. Okay, so what we need to do, this is the equation. 160 minus 150.8 over 8.8 divided by the square root of 5. Okay, so...
Oh, because it's a sample. Okay.
So when you have that over, then you should have 9.2 on top and 3.935 on bottom. And then when you do that equation, you should get 2.3379. So rounded, it's 2.338. And that's the answer.
Okay, so say that again. We do the 160 minus
150.8
Mm-hmm.
over 8.8 divided by the square root of 5.
Okay.
So on top, so 160 minus 150.8 is 9.2. For the bottom, 8.8 divided by the square root of 5 is 3.935. So then 9.2 divided by 3.935 equals 2.3379. So for our purposes, we have to round up to 2.338.
So in this one, we do, well, because like in those other problems, we were just doing like the value.
Right, because this one
mean
has this one
divided-
is the sample mean.
No, I know. I guess I was talking about in our preparation questions we were talking about.
Oh,
Like it said, we were doing it in a different order. You know, we weren't keeping the top problem and then dividing it by the bottom.
right. It was, yeah,
it's true.
it was a different order of operations.
Why? Or how do we know the difference? Or when to use which one?
Yeah, this is tricky.
Because
Well, we were still doing it the same because that is where we were messing up. Is because when we were messing up before, we were doing like the number to the square root of a number rather than the divided by the square root when we were messing up before.
Okay, so if you use the same technique that we were using for the key preparation, I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
preparation answer key. So will we find the same result?
I don't think so.
Well, it is, well, yeah, well, if you're talking about the one that's greater than 50, right, that's different than the problem we're doing now. So it's, I mean, it wouldn't be the same. It's the exact same equation.
Okay.
Because in this one, we're looking for a z-score. We're not looking for a score greater or less than something else, right?
Right,
So,
but we had to find the z-score in the last one.
Mhm.
So divided by, hang on,
let me, hold on. I think I can.
divided by, what's the square root? Sorry, what number are we square rooting? 5?
In the assignment, or in the quiz question?
Yeah.
Yeah, square root of 8.8 divided by the square root of 5.
Okay, so if we do it the way that we were doing it in the preparation assignment, it's like 0.467 is the z-score. So I guess we need to figure out what the proper order is to do this, because we were finding the z-score. We were doing the same thing, just in different orders. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because like the way we were doing it was doing the subtraction on top and then dividing that by just the standard deviation, not, you know, like just the number, and then dividing all of that by the square root.
Right, so that's so this is a different, the quiz is a different order of operations than we did. So okay, let me look at this one on the assignment real quick. I think I may understand how to do it now. So give me just a second.
Yeah. I have the feeling that Angela is correct.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why it was working on the assignment and not here, because I really am feeling confused. So I like,
Let me do the problem real quick, and then I'll tell you if I have it down or not yet. Okay, so. Yep, I figured it out. Okay, so here's how we do this. The one from the assignment to number 9.
okay.
Okay, so what you need to do. So again, we need to do the order of operations different. That's what was screwing us up. So what we're going to do is look at the fraction as 2 different equations, right? We're not going to combine them yet. So the top should be 50 minus 45.
Yeah.
Bob divided by the square root of 25. And that answer is 2. So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. If you go to the applet and put in 2.5 to the z-score, and you shade only the far right, it gives you your 0.0062.
What happened to the... Okay, 50 minus 45.
Yep, is 5.
And then the bottom part,
So you do
only did the square root?
10 divided by the square root of 25.
Okay, I didn't hear the 10 part, so I was like, what happened to the other number?
Yeah, so the bottom is 10 divided by square root of 25.
Yeah.
And that's 2. So our equation is now 5 over 2.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So if you go to your applet and you put in 2.5 for the z-score, and then you shade only the far left, then that gives you your 0.0062.
I don't know if I was that is how I was doing all of these questions before, like treating it as 2 separate equations or whatever, and then dividing it. And my answers weren't matching. So is number 9 different than all the other ones?
I don't know where your mistake was, but like me, when I was doing it, it's just how I was typing it into my calculator was wrong. So
okay,
I don't know how to explain it outside of the order of operations. My order of operations was messed up before.
Okay, well, because this is how I was doing all of the problems and my answers weren't matching. But maybe I wasn't using the applet right, too. That could have been an issue. So I'll go back and look again, I guess. But that's how I was doing all of those questions before, and I couldn't figure out the answers. So, okay, let's just keep doing the quiz. Sorry, I feel like I'm making this
that's okay.
last a lot longer than it should.
After the quiz, I'll help explain it because I think I know how to explain it to you.
Okay.
So we'll do that after the quiz, okay?
Okay. So number 8 is, what did we decide on?
2.338.
Yes, okay, I have that written. Okay, number 9. What is the probability that 5 randomly selected students would have a mean score that is greater than the mean achieved by the students in the previous problem? So do you put this z-score into the applet? Is that what we do?
That 5 and the selected student.
Hold on just a second. Yes. Yeah, so in the applet,
Mm-hmm.
we put 2.338 as the z-score
Okay.
and shade only the far right because it's greater, and that does give you your 0.0097.
Yeah, that's what I got.
You're not recording now?
0.097.
We shade the white.
The far right, yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Okay.
And what did you find? 0.0097.
0.0097. Yeah, in the past it says to round to 3, but this one specifically says round to 4 decimal places, so it's 0.0097.
Okay, perfect. Okay, everyone have that one?
Yep.
Okay, I'll read the next one. Suppose the mean GPA of BYU Idaho students is 3.5 and the standard deviation is 0.7. It is well known that this distribution is left skewed. A random sample of n equals 81 students will be drawn. What is the shape of the sampling distribution of the random variable x, which represents the sample mean of the 81 students who are selected?
It's approximately normal because it's over
30. Okay. Yeah, see, these questions I can do. I know. Oh, goodness. Okay.
I know. I think sometimes I just get caught up and then I overthink things and then, anyway.
Yeah.
So 11 then is, what is the mean of the distribution of the sample mean for all possible samples of size 81 that could be drawn from the parent population? Well, it tells us that it's 3.5, so it's 3.5.
Oh, in the info above, right? Okay.
Yep.
See, that's the other thing. I was like, really? It's just that thing they already told us, and you wrote that whole huge question?
I know, those things always throw me off.
Come on, and I'll come help you. Okay.
Where
Alright.
do you find the 3.5 again?
It gives it to you up above in the information that says use this information for the next 5 questions. It tells us that it's 3.5. So that's where we got that.
Okay. Everybody good with that? Okay, number 12. What is this, Dan? Wait, did we read this already? Sorry.
No, we didn't read
I was
it
talking to
already.
my daughter, so I okay. What's the standard deviation of the distribution of the sample means sampling distribution for all possible samples of size 81 that could be drawn from the parent population? So this is that new one equation we learned, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is where we use it.
Well, no, it's just a normal standard deviation, isn't it?
Oh, this is the normal standard deviation? Okay, I don't have the wording down right yet.
I think it's just 0.7 divided by square root of 81.
Okay. Wait, what? Why are we doing the square root?
Because we're looking for the sample mean.
So this is the new equation that we just did, or that we learned this lesson, or is this a normal z-score?
It's a normal z. It's oh my gosh, we're looking for the standard deviation.
Okay, we're
Not
just looking for a standard deviation.
right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So that ends up being 0.078.
Okay.
What did you do, Angela, to find this one?
I did 0.7 divided by the square root of 81.
Okay.
Wait, where did you get the numbers? I guess I know.
So we're looking for standard deviation
Right.
Mm-hmm.
of the sample mean,
So.
which is why we have to incorporate. So up in the information, it says the standard deviation is 0.7. Well, since we're doing it of the sample mean, that means the 81 comes into play, right? So we have the standard deviation
Okay.
over the square root of 81. And that's what makes it the standard deviation of the sample mean.
Okay. I think I kind of get it. Maybe.
I think I get it. You know, it is better when all the information are written in the question directly instead of having to go back and look what we have to choose.
Yeah, that can throw you off a bit.
Especially when the screen is so tiny that you have to scroll back and forth. Okay. Okay, someone want to read 13 then?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Okay, I'll be right back. Sorry.
What is the probability that so Angela, are we putting 0.078 in the applet now to find 13?
So hold on. So, sorry, just a second. So, so we need to do 3.3 minus 3.5 over the answer we got in the last question. But I think it's slightly off. So hold on just a second. Gotta talk to myself for a second while I
Yeah.
work this out really quick.
So could you find
So okay, so
0.005?
So we need to type it in the calculator a little differently than just putting 0.078 in, because that's going to mess it up a little. So here's what I'm talking about. So if we do 3.3 minus 3.5 on top, that gives you negative 0.2. You're going to do that over the equation we did in the last problem. So your negative 0.2 will be over 0.7 divided by the square root of 81. And that should give you negative 2.57. So the 2.57 is what we take to the applet and put as the z-score. And leave only the far right shaded. And that gives you 0.005. So that should be your answer, 0.005. I can probably explain that again because I kind of went really fast.
No, I get it. I just, well, I don't know. My question, it's students will be, are we on 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Students will be less than 3.3. So we shade to the right or to the left? Like all the way to the left?
I guess either. It's kind of
okay, but it's the same thing. I just wanted to.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, like, I wasn't.
Yeah. Just far left.
So
or far
just
right
so I know.
But yeah, the far left.
Sorry. Hello.
We can hear you.
Yeah. When it's positive, I put it on the right, and when it is negative, I put it on the left. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this 0.0051, or I don't know how far we're rounding.
Right. So it's 0.005.
So, okay.
So 14, are we okay to move on?
Yep.
Okay, so 14, what is the probability that the mean GPA for 81 randomly selected BYU Idaho students will be greater than 3.3?
So is that what we did in the last question?
It's the same z-score, but what you need to shade is the middle and the far right, okay. And that'll give you your answer of 0.995.
Yeah, okay, that's what I got. Okay.
Are you good with that one, Maxie?
Yeah.
Okay. Last one.
All right, I'll read it. The United States Coast Guard assumes the mean weight of passengers in commercial boats is 185 pounds. The previous value was lower, but was raised after a tragic boating accident. The standard deviation of passenger weight is 26.7 pounds. The weights of a random sample of 48 commercial boat passengers were recorded. Sample mean was determined to be 177.6 pounds. Find the probability that a random sample of passengers will have a weight that is as extreme or more extreme, either above or below the mean, than was observed in this sample. Okay. Note, as extreme or more extreme means that we are not only interested in values that are lower than the ones we observe, but also the values that are as far away from the means as ours in the positive direction. Okay.
Mhm. 177 moins 6 moins 185 divisé par 26.7.
I need to do the White House. And we do the White House. That's how I see the movie.
I don't know how to do this one.
Now I see the movie.
Yeah, I don't.
Now I can see the movie.
I mean, I was trying to do something, but I don't think it's working.
What? So I think what. Okay, so we need to figure out. We need a greater than and a less than, right? No.
No, it just
As extreme or more. So greater
Yeah.
than or equal to. Find the probability that a random will have a weight that is extreme or more extreme than was observed. So,
No point around.
so our mean weight is 185, but the sample mean was 177. So, do we need to find greater than the 177? But that doesn't give you.
Yeah, I think the 177 because it says extreme or more extreme than was observed in this sample.
So we need. So yeah. So greater than.
Yeah.
So. So okay. If I do.
So, are you finding the standard deviation, or I mean the z-score? Sorry.
Uh-huh. Minus.
So.
Do you do it?
Okay, minus.
Have it?
So what's the n? What are like this? What are the square root number?
48.
Okay. And then what's the x?
177.6. Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Simon utilise un peu le langage sérieux.
Okay, did anybody get any?
Mhm.
Oh, I almost have it, I think. So give me just a second. And I'll talk about it. Yes, I got it. Okay. So, okay. So we do 177.6
Mhm.
minus 185,
Mm-hmm.
which is negative 7.4.
Yep.
Then the bottom, 26.7, divided by the square root of 48,
Mm-hmm.
which is 3.853.
Mm-hmm.
So negative 7.4 divided by 3.853 should give you negative 1.920. So you put negative 1.920 as your z-score
Mm-hmm.
in the applet, and you keep the far two sections covered, and it gives you 0.0549. So that'd be rounded up to 0.
Wait, I did. You put the z-score in as 1.92.
1.920, yeah.
Which is what I did. And then you highlight. Which one did you highlight? Is it the above and the below? Is that what you said? Like the
Yeah.
far right and the far left?
That's what I
Okay.
did.
And so that's the 0.0549.
Yes, so that'd be rounded up to 0.055.
Wait.
0.05. Yeah, 0.055.
5. Can I just say that I got that right?
Yay!
I just want you guys to know that.
Mom, look at me.
I had it right, and when you said it, I had all of that stuff right. Oh my goodness.
And that is why we have these meetings, because I would be so in trouble otherwise.
Gosh, I think I'm still in trouble. We might have to talk more after
So
this.
what do I put in the applet? I find -2,585. This is what you found and put in the applet?
No, so so the z-score we found was -1.920.
Yeah, this is the problem that I have with this. It changed too much. Sometime we have to divide in another way, and other time we have to come back to something else. So yeah.
Yeah, switch is up. So
did you do 25.7 over
26.7?
it should be
26.7 over square root of 81.
no.
48.
So on top you should have 177.6
Yeah,
minus
I got it.
185. And then on bottom you should have 26.7 divided by the square root of 48.
48.
Yeah, so that's where yours was messed up. It's 48.
Okay. Okay, I see where we find the 48. Okay. I think it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, it's clear so far. So maybe I will be better off when you explain me after the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so are we submitting this?
Yeah. We have no choice.
Well, we got everything right. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now.